All right. Good morning, traders. You should see my screen, hear my voice. You should be able to talk to me, talk to each other. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you, Art. Good to see you, my friend. Good Thursday morning to you, Kate. Good morning, Mike. Okay, I've got a fresh cup of coffee ready to go. Good morning, Bob C. and Bob U. Good morning to the Bobs. Ooh, it's still hot. Good day, Kevin. I hope the weather is starting to ease up where you are and turn into fall. Feels like it's starting out here. I'm sick of the heat and sick of summer. We'll give it just another 30 seconds or so and get cracking. See if we have any others struggling in. All right. We have a good crew. Officially, good morning and welcome out everyone to the Options Income Launchpad Thursday opening bell. We're most of the way through the week already, ready to wrap things up, finish strong. My name is Scott. I'll be your host as always. What we do is for illustrative and education purposes only. We're not, nothing's intended as a recommendation to buy or sell. We're not brokers or advisors. Therefore, nothing we give should be considered financial advice. Any investment decisions made based on any information you see should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Okay. Let's get going here. Let's get our opening tickers. Oh, hold on. I don't know why it does this sometimes. I get like a weird freeze. Okay. Starting a little down. Let's go through our core ETFs and see what we think is going on. News-wise, you can see that the bond market is showing concerns for the government. What else? Stock sag after Treasury's bond intervention buoys markets. You can see there's a little bit of concern developing from that. Walmart drops mid lower slower sales growth, raises guidance. Moderna is going crazy. You guys see that huge jump, and then let me see that one. Let's go look around at some things. mRNA. Good morning. Kevin and Lee, good to see you guys. Good morning to you, Victor. Good morning, Mario. Good morning, James. And good morning to you, David. All right. We'll keep going here. Yeah, you can see yesterday we had this enormous jump, and then today it's given back 15% already. Okay, let's take a look at the SPY. So a small drop on the gap, already seeing buyers trying to come back in. Right now we're down 0.2%. Let's take a look at the Qs. And you can see very similar, almost identical, almost identical on the Qs. Okay, let's see. IWM, small caps. Small caps down about the same amount. Actually, no, sorry, 0.77%. A little bit more on the small caps. And when we come and look at the Dow, maybe the Dow, here's the Dow. 0.66. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag with the market certainly isn't in any kind of sell-off, but at the same time, buyers are really struggling to find moment or find reasons. You can see that it's just not any one of these days. This is the closest one that had average volume, but not more than average volume. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep going here. Good morning, Vladimir. Good to see you. Now, remember, the economic calendar is still pretty light this week. Jobless claims. What did the jobless claims come in at today? Still, still as expected, right? Still, we were expecting 209, or previous was 209, forecast was 210, we got 206. Um, yeah. So far, as far as that goes, certainly we have the same progress that we've had. Nothing concerning. So we look around and we see a lot of concerns, but we also see things that are holding up. Let's go take a look at the VIX. That's going to be an important one for us to see. Yeah. The VIX is not, again, it's nothing that I think, oh, this is concerning. Um, yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Uh, the VIX is really not concerning at all. Um, Not even a little bit. We're not even getting back up to 18, 17. We're sitting here. Whatever else we see, the institutions feel okay about what they see right now, and that's super useful for us informationally. Let's go looking around at our watch list and see what's cracking. Now, as far as these go, the airlines go, there was a bit of a recovery when we saw oil dip, but now that we see oil spiking, certainly we're uh, that's going to be threatened yet again. Yeah, you can see oil's up almost 3%. And at this point now, you can see that we're up from 75 to 87, 12 points on 75. You're talking 15, 16% from here. So, and increasingly feeling that pressure, where we thought maybe there was a chance things were slowing down. Apple. Apple got put on pretty early in the day yesterday, and if you took that one finished strong and is still looking pretty good today. So we'll keep an eye, obviously, on that. Okay, let's keep looking here. AMAT now. I mean, it's not. So AMAT is one. I mean, they're all very expensive right now. Of course, they're all very expensive, but we've definitely seen some of these patterns where it had enough push that we feel like the buyers were coming in. And now that we've seen the sellers come back in, they're holding above the previous level. So turning from here, and it was looking like it was trying to for a minute, but turning from here will certainly be the final piece of that. Okay. So patience in tech right now. Patience particularly in these processors, memory, AI related areas. Amazon. Um, yeah, actually, yesterday Amazon was holding up. Today you can see it's an inside day, but this is holding this old level here. What would I do? I would say, hey, whoops, we'll take one of these over and basically say, how would this look? You can see it would be looking for a an almost retest. An almost retest is what we would be looking for. Uh, yeah, we'll come back to this, I think, and revisit this. All right, let's see. ASX. We had an okay trade on that one, but now just kind of watching to see what happens next. I don't think we have enough yet. Bank of America, close. I'm getting closer on financials. I think financials still look very strong. We just had new highs. Now we're seeing these lows form. There's no selling pressure developing. This is exactly what we would be looking for the next trade to develop. Not today, obviously, but tomorrow with this candle, the possibilities start opening up. Because a lot of times, what I'm going to be looking for is as a confirmation signal is breaking above the previous day. So today, breaking above yesterday, well, that would be very difficult for us to see since we've already started down 0.5%. But tomorrow, and maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow looks like this, and then on the next day it looks like this. And that's kind of the transition where we're saying, hey, that's the day. This first white day wasn't enough, but the next day, when the one buyer day overcomes the previous buyer day, that's buyers telling us. You can see that the stochastics confirmed, and you would have been able to make this trade here. Is that a phenomenal trade? It's a good trade. That's a that's a profitable trade. Yeah, it's a good trade. We sometimes people will be like, oh, but it only did this much. Well, yeah, sometimes it's going to do this much, and sometimes it's going to do this much. We don't know which one's which. We try to, get ourselves ready for it. But uh, overall, yeah, we're just kind of playing it playing it cool. We're trying to wait and see what we if we even get an entry, and then we can go from there. So patience, but preparing. BNS, similar, similar kind of a thing, although it's uh, uh, got earnings. So I would say on that one, you're going to be a little bit more prudent about if you're going to take the trade or wait for the earnings to come out and then go from there. Okay. Okay. City, very similar. A lot of this is what we've seen where we're like the financials went into a consolidation. That was it turned a little bit. This is the setup, this low relative to this low, that if it turns, that's what I'm looking for. Though right now, I would say BAC, in my opinion, looks a little bit stronger. Cheesecake Factory. Oh, not yet, but it's getting closer, right? Not yet, but getting closer. And same kind of a thing. What would we look for? We'd look for these days to stop dropping. Drop, drop, drop. Stable, like this one here. If after that day we would have seen it turn around, we might have been like, hey, that looks viable. But we're still watching. The sellers are still in control. They're not pushing it hard. I don't know why this thing is. There we go. CrowdStrike. I just don't think there's going to be time now. I actually thought this was a great looking setup developing. Oops. But due to earnings proximity, by the time you get this, earnings are what, Tuesday? Um, 8:26 after market. That's Wednesday. Wednesday. It's just not much time. If you have a particular trade that you're interested in reviewing, throw me the symbol. Okay, let's see. Cisco. Cisco is no. I don't see anything developing in there. CSX, trying. I think I can. I really need this to get. It hasn't failed, but the buyers are certainly, taking a little pause here. And I would say at this point, if we don't see it go, I'm going to have to lose patience. You. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Whoops. Energy fuels. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like it. I like it. It's got an interesting look. Yeah. What do I like about it? If you take this line here, this old consolidation line, whoops, even coming down more. The earnings helped, but that was the catalyst. It broke out. That's the buyers coming in. Okay. Then what? Then the sellers have regained control. We saw that happen right about in here, where they're like, all right, we pushed it up. Now what do we see? Well, what have the sellers done? Hardly anything. Hardly anything. Um, Seems to be finding a new support level through here. Stochastics coming back down. Now what? Now we're waiting for the confirmation. We're waiting for the price to turn. We're waiting for the stochastics to give the confirmation. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Boom. GE. Yeah. So, GE. That's a tough one. That's a judgment call. Uh, I closed on the break. And the reason I did on the break was the volume. I mean, it was if you didn't see, Stephen D posted something about the drop in their guidance, which was kind of an unexpected announcement, obviously. But yeah, that's what put us in that situation. If it had done that without the volume, I might have stayed in it, even though it kind of got below because it was that reaction to the news. Um, we'll see what happens. I'm not I'm not convinced. I think it could recover, but I had to stick to the rule. You never know when news like that's going to come out. Morning, Peter T. So yeah, yeah. If you're in it, keep me posted. I wanted to, I just couldn't. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Let me pop back up. Where were we? Cisco, CSX, CTAS? No. There's some choppiness in there. Delta was one that we had to take the loss on, unfortunately, on the break. The Dow's down. Elf Cosmetics. That was a tough one. It didn't really give the signal and then it broke. If anyone caught it, that's a good catch. I was looking to see may there possibly be a Heiken Ashi. It's still pretty volatile. Um, yeah, let's see. We talked about GE, gold pushing a little higher. Okay, let's go to General Motors. This one's all marked up now. We'll see what happens if there's a recovery here. Google. Yes, Kevin H. GE volume increase meant sellers came in. That was for me the I might have given that a little bit more leeway on the break of support if it wasn't accompanied by that increase in volume. That was for me like, okay. Our market at a 4/5 at a 5 1/4. That's a right on the bubble of anticipatory trades, holding on to lost things that have turned. Um, right? Yeah, holding on to things that have turned necessarily before taking losses, things like that. Okay, let's see. Goldman, still flat. HPQ. Ooh, do we have time? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that there's not time. Okay, let's see. That is the 26th. Yeah, we still have time. IWM. Small caps look okay right now to me. We just made new highs. It's pulling back. I want to see what our major market analysis looks like, but I think that overall looks okay. Johnson and Johnson popped a little, but it's pausing. KMB, Kimberly Clark, sideways. LRCX. Okay. We're starting to see some of these that are going to come out a little stronger than the others that look like they have a little bit more than the others. Um, let's see. Okay. So for me, this consolidation is what broke. Boom. Now what? Now the sellers have come in. How did they do? They got it up to average, but not more than average. To average, but not above average. So if from in this area here, we start to make that turn, that's the higher low we're looking for. That's the new signal that we're looking for. Okay, let's see. Slow to drop. Oh, there we go. Lunar. Yeah. Are you guys seeing that pattern? We had this consolidation as it dropped from 46 to 11. And you might think, why would we ever be interested in that, Scott? Well, because it went from 15 to 46 over here. Right? Now what? Well, all of a sudden we busted up. We got this new high, and now we're seeing it pull back. This is the sellers. How does the pressure feel from the sellers? Well, it's continuously decreased. So this is where the setup we're looking for is coming. That's what we're looking for across the board. Whatever stocks we're looking at, that's going to be what we're looking for. As we have that pattern in mind, we'll keep checking on things. Ooh, this was met. I almost went. Couple people, I think, maybe went on this one, and that's a tough one because it was absolutely valid here. And this is why a lot of times I wait till the end of the day, right? Why am I waiting until the end of the day? Well, because that signal fell apart and there was nothing I could do about that. Okay, let's keep moving. Meta, nothing for us there. Monster, it's trying a little bit, but there's not much there yet. Okay, Marvell, no. Morgan Stanley is sort of still sitting around. Microsoft. Ooh, what do we see from Microsoft? We saw a monster earnings report. It gapped up, continued running all the way up here to a new high. And we see clearly the sellers took over. Okay. And now, what have they done? Not a single above average volume day. We get down to here and we think, okay, now what? Now the turn, right? Now the turn. And that's what we're waiting for. All right. Any others that you guys threw out at me that I missed? Micron. We have some setting up. Micron. It's $1,000. Volatility has dropped to its lowest point in a while. Look how hard it was to trade these options back here. All the way through, even to here. And now, finally, it's broken back down. We're back in this area. This is the best it's been, right? Okay. Pops up. Now we see the sellers. Our thought process here is if it doesn't do more than this, that's where we're ready to go. Netflix. We need a consolidation. Nokia. We've been waiting for this one. There really wasn't much of an opportunity here. That was kind of the first time it popped up, came back, and made a higher low. But let's just look at this as one big move. We now know that the sellers are trying to come in. They haven't done very much yet, right? Let's see. Now that we have the sellers coming, this is probably our window. Yeah, I think a trade will come. I think we've got several things starting to show up as we go through what we're seeing now. Nvidia, I would say Nvidia looks good. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Okay. Oracle, knocking on the door. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for this one, and now we see it knocking on the door. It just made a new high. Buyers did their thing, getting it up here. Now we're watching the sellers come down. They're sitting in this area, knocking on the door. And we'll be patient for these. Palantir, I would say Palantir looks reasonable. Same thing. I want you to look at their volume, or I mean their volatility, right? Look at that volatility. It's much, much cheaper now. So yeah. Okay, let's keep looking here. Q's. We've recovered some. We're off the lows, but overall still more sellers than not. Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab, like Lunar. Both of these look like they could be tradable if you have one preference over the other. We'll get to SpaceX, don't worry. Ross Stores, it's kind of been dropping, dropping, dropping. We haven't seen any hint of buyers yet. Okay. RTX, shopping around. Silver, sitting higher still, moving higher still. The precious metals have been recovering or continuing to rebloom. SanDisk. And there you can kind of see what we're looking at here. SanDisk did one of these. It broke out of this final consolidation, and now it's pulling back. There's definitely something developing there. Let's see. Okay, MODD. Yeah, definitely we'll take a look at that. Good breakout. But that's the first thing it's done, David. It's just breaking out of this for the first time. Um, I'd call it a low price stop. It doesn't have options, you can see, but I mean, it's $3.60. It's well overbought. I would say what I'm looking for here, and you can see why we're looking for it. If you notice, it did the same thing back here. It made that break, and then we were looking for it to try. And this is probably where I may have gone, and it probably would have gone sideways, and I'd have been like, you know what, I'm out. And then it just never materialized and started dropping again. That's not to say it's not going to. That's to say, um, I would say that's to say that it's, got to make that same rounds again, second time. Then maybe. Okay. Oof. Right now, probability of a trade alert, I'm putting at that 10% mark. I just don't think we're going to see it right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, where was I? MODD. Oh, Oklo. Oklo. Okay. Yeah. Doug T. I like it. Consolidation down, bottomed out, popped. A little bit of earnings help, which is always helpful. Always nice. Okay. Let's see. We've now stabilized on the pullback. You can see this is about where the buyers finished. And now as we're watching this, we're saying, what's next? If I see the buyers push it, that's a go. This will give you the final turn. And what would we look for? I'd probably look for this move from here to here. We'll duplicate that and we'll say, something like that, getting us back up into this area of things. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I like that one, Oklo. I'm going to put that on our list. Volatility is at its lowest point for it in a while, right? Its lowest point for it in a while. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that. Okay, let's see. Um, where were we? Oklo? No. How far did we get? Ross Stores, RTX, RTX, Silver, oh, we did SanDisk, SpaceX, also possibly setting up. So if SpaceX is your space rocket stock of choice, then there you go. That one looks good too. SPY is at the lows. We're not really seeing much yet, right? We're not really seeing that much yet, um, from the buyers here. So, be patient. Don't force TD down. Target. The earnings were interesting. The earnings were interesting. Why were they interesting? Well, expecting 230, got 411. Probably had some interesting guidance. It gapped down and then it took off. And there it is. T. Rowe Price, no. Tesla, eh. TSM, maybe. Maybe setting up. Unilever. Oh, Unilever turned. It's trying to make a little bit of a move. Okay. UPS. Viking Cruises. No. Here's the VIX today. It's not much of a spike, to be fair. Right. WDC, watching Rocket Lab. I like Rocket Lab. I don't know. I'm looking at Rocket Lab and Lunar more than anything. WDC is another one that could be going through that process. And then you'll see today Walmart lowered their guidance on their earnings report. They got smashed pretty good. So it's been an interesting little reversal of fortunes between Target, who seems to have made a pretty strong comeback, and Walmart, which seems to have really gotten kicked in the teeth on this last earnings report. Okay, that's the list. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap it up? Yeah, this is a patience day, right? This is a be patient day. Um, we don't want to force trades. We don't want to find trades for the sake of trades. We want to make sure we take trades that make sense. That's the core thing that we're looking for. Anything I missed? Any questions before we wrap up? It's market's holding. The market is holding on to its resilience right now. That we just don't see selling pressure mounting, but we also have seen a general lack of buying interest that has slowed things down considerably. So all we can do is just sort of wait, watch, and take our chances as they come. So that's what we're going to be looking for in our trade alerts. Um, that's what we're going to be looking for across the board. Do I usually enter swing trades near the end of the day? I wouldn't necessarily say always the end of the day. What I would say is the second half of the day. I like to get through the morning hump. I like to know that traders have come back from lunch and now um, are ready to lock in whatever signals we see. Yeah. Okay. Patience is a key. Let's make sure we get the right signals. Thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with me today. Our schedule going forward is going to be Glenn will be there tonight at 7:30. I'll be there tonight at 8:30 for Q&As. We'll go through trade setups and everything as well. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, like I said, keep an eye on things. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, or I'll see you later tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow for market close. As always, happy trading.